Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. I'm going to talk about and apply all the makeup that is under $10 and I'm going to achieve this look by using all those products. I loved the way everything came out. I love that I can achieve like a high-end feel at a drugstore price. So if you guys are interested, let's begin. I really want to prove that makeup, even if it is not expensive or high-end, you can definitely achieve a similar look without going expensive. So we're going to do everything under $10, I would say. A lot of the makeup that I've picked today is like the least expensive in my collection, I would say. Even though I do have like great drugstore products, I kept it the lowest minimum possible. And we'll see if we can achieve like a similar look using these products or not. For the brows, I actually finished my brows using this e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. And this one is in the shade Neutral Brown. So I basically just filled it in. And it's super like quick product, I would say. It's not like a very thin pencil product. So if you have like a good enough thick brows, I would say you will absolutely love it, especially because it's like a pencil tip. Can you see that? It's definitely not like very thin, slim pencil kind of an effect. It's a little more on the thicker side. It completely fills in the brow super quick. Another product, if you really want like a slim pencil kind of a effect, e.l.f. has one which I use all the time, and this is the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and this one is in the shade Cool Brown. Now this pencil tip is like super thin. Can you see that? I love it. I absolutely love both of these products. I generally go with this because I love more of like a thin brow kind of an effect, but if I'm in a rush, this is the one to go. Like it comes also with a spoolie. Actually, both of them comes with a spoolie at the other end. So you can just like brush it through and it will give you like great brows in like seconds. So that's great. Let's move on to the primer. Two primer again to mention. Now, if you're more on the oily side, I would definitely recommend this one. And this is Catrice Prime and Fine Pore Refining Anti-Shine Base Keep Me Matte Primer. I love to wear this whenever I'm like going for like a longer day. If I'm going for office or anything like that, I absolutely love to wear this. Especially it keeps like the oils at bay, and I'm more on the like combo skin side. So this definitely helps to keep my makeup in place for a long time. But let's say if you have a lot of imperfections on your face and you want to hide those pretty quick, not like a lot, but you still want to like hide it and give it like an even base, I would highly recommend this one from Essence. And this is the Essence My Skin Perfector Primer. And this one is in the shade Medium Beige. I really love this one too. This is more of like a moussey consistency and it does have like a tint to it. Hence the shade Medium Beige. Can you see that? It's definitely more on like the moussier side. I love to apply this, especially wherever I have things to cover. So basically in like the T-zone area, if I have like discoloration or the acne spots to cover, and it also blurs out the skin at the same time. So I really love it when I have to like even out my skin tone. This is definitely like my go-to. Love it. Can you see that? There was like a dark spot there. It definitely evened it out quite a bit. It will definitely not take it away, and it will minimize the pores also to a great extent. So in the drugstore, I would highly suggest these two. Beautiful product. And I'm not talking because it's like a lower cost product. I'm talking because it performs that good at a lower cost. So yeah, if you're oilier skin, I would highly recommend this. Even this, I mean, both, it works for every skin. But if you're looking for a primer that keeps the oils at bay, this one. If you want a primer that will fill in your pores and even out your skin tone, then this one. Now let's talk about foundations. When I talk about good, affordable foundations, definitely Wet n Wild comes into my mind immediately, and even Believe foundation. I use Believe foundation all the time. It's been quite some time that I've not used it, so I definitely wanted to use this today. That's why I'm recommending this. But all of the Wet n Wild foundations are like around $5, I would say. Both of these superb quality. I use this all the time. I want to use this one, and this is the tinted hydrator, and this one is in the shade Tan Medium Deep. Such a beautiful tinted moisturizer. I can't even say that it is a tinted moisturizer because it does give like great coverage too. So I'll show it to you. Again, this is in the shade Tan Medium Deep, and it is such a replacement to the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. This one, very great dupe, I would say. Like such an amazing dupe to that. And it comes with like squalene also. So if you are more of like a dry skin person, again, everyone can use this, but it can definitely work for oily skin, dry skin also. It will not cling on to your dry patches or emphasize your pores or anything. And this doesn't actually come with SPF in it. So just keep that in mind. Definitely apply your SPF before you apply your foundation and your primer, which I already did. But you can see, like, look at the coverage. It easily gives that good medium coverage on your skin, and which I absolutely love. So once the base is all set and like perfect, I absolutely love that foundation. Like there's no doubt at all. Now let's move on to the concealer. Two brands that I have to recommend for concealer. One is Believe Beauty, and Believe Beauty, I am actually in the shade Light Beige. Beautiful, lightweight, good coverage concealer. And the other one, without a doubt, is e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer. I have both, the normal camo one and the hydrating camo one. I'm going to use the hydrating camo one because it's been quite some time that I've not used this. So let's use that because it's beautiful and it gives amazing coverage underneath your eyes. So if you have like good dark circles, this will take care of you. So I'm gonna just blend that. See how much coverage it gives? Just covers everything. So if you actually do feel like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, the normal one with a black cap, was a little more drying on you, definitely try the hydrating one. I am sure you would love that. And by the way, in the hydrating camo concealer, I am in the shade Medium Sand. Okay, now let's move on to the powder. Oh my god, I cannot recommend this enough. The powder that I'm going to use is Believe Beauty powder, and this is called the Matte Blur Loose Powder in the shade Light Medium. This is such a beautiful powder. Now I know that Believe Beauty products, like everybody cannot use it just because it's not that accessible. But let's say if you cannot find Believe Beauty, amazing powder from the drugstore would be Wet n Wild Loose Setting Powder. I cannot tell you how beautiful that powder is too. It blurs out your imperfections and your texture on your skin so beautifully. Both of these powders are so finely milled that it will completely blur out your skin within seconds. Like I love. Actually, I do love the Wet n Wild pressed powder also, but I recently could not find that on the Wet n Wild website. So I don't know what's about that because I love that powder. I really do, but I didn't want to use that product because I couldn't like find it. But I have like a huge dent, a big pan on that product. I just love Wet n Wild complexion products, but I definitely wanted to use as many brands as I can in front of you guys so that you guys can see like how well it performs. I actually do have like a full face of using Wet n Wild on my channel and also a full face of Believe Beauty. I'll link both of those videos in the iCards above for you guys to check it out. Amazing products from these affordable brands, like superb quality, I would say. Should have done this before applying the powder, but that's okay. I want to give you an option for cream bronzer. And I feel like if you are trying a cream bronzer from the drugstore and you want like a very natural effect on your skin, you cannot go wrong with the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. And I have in the shade called Golden Days. Look how much I use. Like it's a big dent on it. I generally use this whenever I'm going for office. I just squeeze my Real Techniques Expert face brush and then just apply it in the perimeters of the face. And it just gives such a natural, like not makeupy kind of a look, but very natural tan on the skin. And it also feels like skin after you apply it. You can apply it on top of the powder, like underneath the powders. Like I love it. This formula is amazing. especially if you don't want like a dramatic effect on your face and you just want like a natural contouring product or like a natural bronzing product, this is the way to go. Can you see the difference? Like, it's so beautiful. Like, the shade is so beautiful and it's so perfect, and the finish is amazing. Like, absolutely stunning. If you are like closer to my skin tone, I would highly recommend this shade, which is called Golden Days. But they have like amazing shade selection also on their website as well as on the Ulta's website. So definitely check them out. And you can see, even though I applied that on top of the powder, you can see like, see, there's no lifting on the foundation or anything like that. It just beautifully blends into the skin. Beautiful formula for that bronzer. Like, love, love, love it. Okay, now let's talk about a powder bronzer. If you are looking for a powder bronzer from the drugstore, I mean, Wet n Wild bronzers are definitely one of my old favorites, I would say. And this one is in the shade What Shady Beaches. Beautiful, beautiful formula again. It is not like a flat matte. I don't know if you can see it or not. It definitely has like a sheen to it, but when you apply it on the skin, like, it just appears to be very skin-like. It's not shimmery or shiny by any means. Very, very skin-like. So I'm going to apply that right on top of that bronzer just to set it. But the shade is also amazing. And let's just put a tiny little bit of this bronzer right on the nose too. See how beautiful that is. And now if you think that you've gotten overboard, I'm just going to use the same powder bronzer with no additional product and just go over the entire perimeters of the face just to blend everything smoothly. Like, very lightly, but that will give like a very blended effect on your face and there'll be no harsh lines. Now let's move on to the blushes that I want to talk about. One is a cream blush and the other one is a powder blush. So let's start off with the cream blush. If you're looking for like a affordable cream blush, either go with the e.l.f.'s Putty Blush or go with like the Believe Beauty's cream blush. This one is in the shade Tropical Sunset. It is such a beautiful orangey coral shade. It's very unexpected. When you see it in the pan, it appears to be like a very orange blush, but as soon as you apply it, it's more of like a very pastel-y kind of a shade. Can you see that? Like, it seems super neon, but as soon as you apply it, it just melts into your skin. Like, just melts in. Such a beautiful product, and even the blendability is amazing. Definitely wanted to recommend this. And this is like $4. So affordable and so pretty. I love this product. See how much, like, I just dabbed it like once and it's blended. Superb. Now, if you do need like a powder blush formula, I mean, Wet n Wild has amazing blushes. This is my favorite shade. I have quite a few in my collection. This is Mellow Wine. Such a beautiful neutral blush. Like, I freaking love this product so very much. I'm going to apply a tiny little bit and just apply it right on top of this blush just to set that blush in place. Can you see that? I know the name is called like a Mellow Wine, but this is such a beautiful muted, a very neutral kind of a blush. Perfect for every day, I would say. Perfect. It also comes with like a tiny little brush, which I never use. So I'm not gonna lie about that. But I mean, the product is super. Now let's move on to the highlighter. The highlighter of my choice. If you need like a subtle highlighter, cannot go wrong with this one. And this is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. And I have actually both the shades with me. This is the deeper one out of the two, and this is called Be My Sunlight. I cannot even tell you how much I've used this. You probably can find by the dent in the product, and because it's like a baked product, it just melts into your skin and just gives such a beautiful glow. Cannot tell you guys. Like, if you are more on the medium or a tan skin tone, this is the way to go. Like, beautiful. And this is like, what, I don't know how much this is for. I think when I got this, I got it for like $2 or $3, not even kidding. And look at the shine. Like perfect. Cannot go wrong with this at all. It's not like a new product by any means, but such an essential staple in my collection. You definitely don't need to spend like $20, $30 on the high-end highlighters when you have this in your collection. Like, look at that. It's beautiful. Now, before anything, I'm going to set my face, and this is from NYX, and this is called the Matte Finishing Spray. So I'm going to take that. I have two sizes with me for this setting spray. One is more on the mini side, like that's my travel buddy. But this is like a full-size product and so affordable, and it lets your makeup stay on your face for such a long time. Cannot recommend enough at all. Now let's move on to the eyes. When it comes to affordable eyeshadows, you cannot go more affordable than this, is what I would say. And I'm talking about the e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palettes. Now you can see how many I have in the collection. That's because it's such lovely products. Now, I'm going to use this. Why do I have like 4 of these? Is just because if you're not excessive like me in the eyeshadow category, you'll be all fine. When I'm dipping into eyeshadows, I love variety. And I have not come to a point like, what am I going to put on my eyes? So that's why I have 4 in front of me. But all of these individually are like $3 each. And they have some beautiful, beautiful selection. This one is in the shade Hot Jalapeno. I'm pretty sure you guys have like definitely seen this. This one, more on the neutral brown side. This one is in the shade Pumpkin Pie. This one is more heavy on the matte side, but again, a neutral with a pop of blue. And this one is in the shade called Carnival Candy. Beautiful. And then the one that I loved and used a lot, hence a broken pan. This is in the shade called Cream and Sugar. The broken pan that you see was like a deep dark chocolatey brown shade. So if you are a more of a neutral everyday kind of a person and you just need like an everyday quad, I would highly recommend Cream and Sugar for you guys. Like, love it. So first I'm going to dip into this shade, which is in the Carnival Candy palette, this cream eyeshadow. I'm just going to set my eyelids if I have anything, any residue from the foundation or the concealer, so that I do have like a smooth base to work on. I'm not looking for anything fancy today. So basically, I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to dip into this beautiful camel brown shade, and I'm going to put that as my transitioning shade all across my eyelid. Okay, now I'm going to dip into this beautiful rusty brown shade, which has a lot more like a reddish tint to it. I'm going to apply that more on the outer corners and the inner corner of the eye. And we'll put a little bit on the crease too, but right below the first shade that we placed on the crease, the light khaki brown shade. So just like that. And you can see like how beautifully pigmented that is. So we're basically going from like a dark to a light eyeshadow. Now, if you see any patchiness on this eye, that's because I do have a rash. I did mention it in a previous video. I do have a rash on this eye, and you might see it clinging on a few patches, and that's just my problem. You won't find that in this eye. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But you can see like how beautiful and chocolatey this shade is. Love it. Beautiful. I'm going to take this same shade, this beautiful rusty brown shade, and I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line. And now I'm going to use that same blending brush, and I'm going to dip into this and this both together. And I'm just going to run it around the edges of the eye look, just so that there's like, it's all blended together and there's no like harsh lines. And same on the lower lash line. So basically we use like 3 shades, including that matte thing, just to set the eyelids. And that's our eye look, guys. Like such a beautiful, beautiful palette. Like you just need like one to just give you like an entire eye look. Beautiful. You can actually use these shadows as like highlighters too, which I absolutely used to do this. And let's take this shade from the Cream and Sugar palette. I'm going to apply that as my inner corner. Look at the pop. I'm like stunned. I mean, yeah. So pretty. Pops like so crazy. Cannot. As soon as I saw that shimmer pop, I want to use everything. I'm taking that golden shade and just popping it on top just because this one was like so metallic-y. I'm just calming down that metallic shade by putting another metallic shade on top. I'm using the same thing, the rusty one, and just popping it right underneath the brow bone. Okay, now let's finish off the eyes by applying some eyeliner. And generally people do ask me about like my favorite pencil eyeliners. I will not lie, from the time I've started using this, I've not looked back, no matter what tutorial it is. And I'm talking about the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil. I have actually three with me, one in more nude shade, one black and one brown. And I use that all the time. I'm going to use the black one today just so that you can see. I'm not going to skip this part at all. So this is in the shade Black Love. I'm going to apply that on my waterline. And you can see how beautifully that glided on my eyes. Like it doesn't tug the eyes. It doesn't skip. It stays for such a long time too. Cannot recommend enough at all. Okay, now let's talk about a liquid eyeliner. Again, from the time I've started using this, I've not looked back. And this is from Wet n Wild, and this is their breakproof liner. You know, I'm a liner kind of a person and I cannot skip my liners. And this is so matte, so black, and so easy to use. Oh my God. Like, look at that. How long did I take? Like 5 seconds. Beautiful. I just love the way it glides on the eyeshadows. Like beautiful, and how matte it is. Stunning. Okay, now let's talk about mascaras. You guys know my love affair with L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and it will not be replaced by any of them. But let's say, like, if you guys have gotten tired of me recommending this, I have another option for you guys. I have absolutely loved this one too, from e.l.f. And this is called their Big Mood Mascara. I would say like this had been in my collection for like 2 months now. Such a beautiful mascara. Yeah, I know. Smithy's recommending something else apart from L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Shocker, I know. But this is good. Really, really good. And I forgot to mention, this one is in the shade Dark Brown. Obviously, my choice is always black. This was a mistake. But will it replace my L'Oreal Lash Paradise? I don't think so. But again, another great option from the drugstore. But my favorite is L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Now, let's finally move on to the lips. For the lip liner, you cannot go wrong with ColourPop Lippy pencils, and this and the KKW ones, I mean, are the only ones that I use in my collection, even though I have so many in my collection. These are like my go-to lip liners, not even kidding. I'm going to use the Lippy pencil in the shade BFF3 today. Now, once we have the lip liner all in place, let's talk about lipsticks. Don't be fooled by the prices, because I know these are super inexpensive, but they're such beautiful quality. I have a lot more in my collection. I didn't want to pull up everything. My two of the most used shades are, by the way, this is from Essence, and this is nude lipstick line, the one that comes in like the white packaging with a rose gold bottom. My two favorite shades out of the lot is Lovable and Legendary. This is Lovable, more of like a brownie, like a warm tone brownie nude shade. And this one is in the shade Legendary, which is more of like a cooler tone mauvey brown shade. Love both of them. Cannot recommend enough. I don't want to do like a monochromatic look. That's the only reason why I'm going to take Legendary, because that's my favorite. I mean, so beautiful. The formula is outstanding, like outstanding. Is it too light for this look? I don't know. I mean, I can dab a little bit of Lovable. So pretty. Super hydrating, but not like slipping and sliding all over the place. Beautiful, beautiful formulas, like beautiful. I also have a shade called Bold. I don't use that a lot just because that's like not my favorite color selection. It's more on the peachier side and more paler. Yeah, but these two, definitely my favorites, definitely. And you can see this is like a full face of everything under $10. I would say out of the lot, I think only there'll be like 2 or 3 things that are more than $5. Rest everything is more or less under $5. But I want to just keep it like a solid number. That's why I said like less than $10. But you can see like how beautiful these products look. Even though they're not like high-end products, they give me so much of like a good high-end vibe with all these like affordable prices. I love like a good affordable makeup product and that can look like this. Sign me up any day, anytime. So let me show you a close-up of how everything looks. And that's my final look, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you loved all these product recommendations that I gave it to you guys. And most of them, I would say, are not even like that new. They are like my staples in my makeup routine and my makeup collection. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and I loved playing with this again from my collection because I truly adore each and every one of these things I mentioned to you guys. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.